Guys, welcome back to TechDose, and in this video we will look at solving questions with Brainpower problem, which is from Leetcode number 2140. Let's now read the problem statement. In this problem you are given a zero index 2D integer array questions where question set I denotes points I brainpower I. The array describes the questions of an exam where you have to process the questions in order, that is starting from question 0, and make a decision whether to solve or skip each question. Solving question I will earn you points I points, but you will be unable to solve each of the next brain power I questions. If you skip question I, you get to make the decision on the next question as well. For example, the questions are 3, 2, 4, 3, 4, 4 and 2, 5. If question says 0 is solved, that means if you choose to solve this, then you will gain 3 points. Right, you are gaining 3 points, but you cannot solve the next 2 questions. Okay, so you can only make a decision right from the 4th question. So if you are at an index I, and if x number of items cannot be solved for the next time, then you will be able to pick only I plus x plus 1th position, right? You can start parsing again from I plus x plus 1. If instead of the question 0 is skipped and the question 1 is solved, you will earn 4 points, but you will be unable to solve the questions 2 and 3, right? So return the maximum points you can earn from the exam. Now let's look at the first example. In this case, the questions mentioned are 4 questions, with the first being the points and the second being the number of questions that you cannot solve next if you try to solve this problem. Okay. So given a question, you have 2 choices, whether you want to solve the problem or you don't want to solve the problem, right? So if you don't want to solve the problem, you just go to the next problem, okay? But your profit will still remain to be 0. But if you try to solve this problem, then your profit, or you can say points, will be added with the value 3, but you have to skip the next 2 options and you have to directly jump to I plus x plus 1th position, where x is actually the brain power. Okay, so that has to be taken care of. Now the brain power could have been only 1, and you can actually skip just to the next item, right? So skipping just the adjacent item, that can happen. We can look at it in the constraint section, right? So since every item will have 2 choices, therefore the total number of combinations that you can form is 2 to the power of n. And out of all these possibilities, one possibility will definitely give you the maximum point collection, right? So we need to return the maximum points that you can earn from the exam. Now in this particular case, if you try to solve the 0th problem and the 3rd problem, which is at a valid gap, right? So you get the total points as 3 plus 2, 5, which is maximum, and that is why 5 is the answer, right? Now let's see if trying out all possibilities is actually going to work. So in this case, the questions dot length is 10 to the power of 5. So if you write 2 to the power 10 to the power 5, that is way greater than your 10 to the power of 8. Definitely that is not something that I want to do. Okay, so we have to write an algorithm which is still less than n square, right? We cannot even write n square algorithm because that will make it 10 to the power of 10, which is also greater than your 10 to the power of 8. So an n log n algorithm or similar, which will bring the total computations less than 10 to the power 8, will be feasible here. Now the questions dot length is 2, which represents points comma brain power. Okay, and each of the values of the points and brain power are within the range of 1 to 10 to the power of 5. So as you can see that brain power minimum value is 1. So definitely if you are at a point I, if you choose to take point I, then in the worst case you will be going to I plus 2, because the brain power value can be minimum, which is 1, right? Now if you happen to pick all the questions, or maybe half of the questions, I will assume that you will pick all the questions, the brain power maximum can be 10 to the power of 5, and you can have each of the points also to be 10 to the power of 5. The length of the questions, that means the number of questions, are 10 to the power of 5. So if 10 to the power 5 is added 10 to the power 5 times, it becomes 10 to the power of 10, and definitely this can give you an integer overflow. So don't go for 32-bit integer. It is already mentioned in the code sample that you have to go with a long integer, which is a 64-bit integer, right? So I think all this analysis is clear. Now let's see how to solve it by recursion, and then we will try to optimize it and see why this is a dynamic programming question. Now in this case, I have taken a sample example with 5 questions. The first item being the points and the second item being the brain power, right? Now as I mentioned that each of the exam or the item can have two choices, whether you can exclude it or you can include it, right? So I will go with the same process, and let me try to explain you in the form of a recursion tree diagram. If I am at position 0, then I can choose not to take this exam or to take this exam, right? So let's say that first I will try not to take this exam. If I don't take this exam, simply I will go to 1, right? I will go to 1, and at 1, what I will do, again I can not take the exam. At 2 I can choose to not take the exam. At 3 I can choose not to take the exam, and at 4 I can choose not to take the exam, right? And if I do that, then I will reach to index 5, which is out of bounds, and definitely this cannot give me any points, so we will be returning 0 from here. So at position 4, we tried to make maximum points by not taking exam number 4, and that fetched me total points of 0. But what if I try to include this exam 4? That means I try to give this exam 4. So I'll get the points 2. So 2 will be added, and I will be going to index number 4 plus 2 plus 1, which is the same as I plus x plus 1, where x is the brain power and I is the current index at which you are taking the exam, right? So from 4, if you add 4 plus 2 plus 1, you go to 7, which is out of bounds. So this will be returning a 0 point. But at 4, you can actually make 2 points because you gave exam a 4, right? So out of these two options, I will be taking the max option because the question was asking about maximizing the point, and therefore it will be returning a value 2, right? It will be returning a value 2. So by not giving exam 3, I got 2 points. Now I will try to give the exam 3 and see if I can get more points. So by giving the exam, actually you are scoring 3 points. So 3 points already scored, plus which index will you go to? 3 plus 3 plus 1, which is 7. Now 7 is out of bounds, so this will be returning 0 points, right? And if it does that, then we will take the max of 2 comma 3, and this will be returning a value 3. So at index 2, by not giving the exam, I made 3 points. By giving this exam 2, I can make 4 points, plus I have to go to 2 plus 2 plus 1, which is index 5, which is out of bounds. So this will be returning 0. And so we will be returning the max of taking this exam versus not taking this exam, right? So 4 will be returned. At 1, we got 4 profit, or you can say 4 points by not giving exam 1. Now let's try by giving exam 1, you get 2 profit or 2 points. And then the next position you will go to is 3, because the brain power here is 1. So 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 3. Now if you look at this problem here, 3, then this has already been solved. This has already been solved, because what we are doing is, when we are at this node 3, we have returned a value 3 from here, which means that if you are present at node 3, then the maximum profit that you can make is 3. Now since I already know that if I am at node 3, then I can make 3 maximum profit, why do I need to solve it again? I don't need to solve it again, right? So this is a repeating sub problem. So what I will do in this case is, I will be saving all these results which I have pre-computed into some data structure, from where I can look up and check if I have already solved it. And if I have already solved it, then why should we solve it again? I can just return the value, isn't it? Now if you look at the constraint section, then it says that the length will be the total number of questions, right? So if I have solved a question, like for any question, if I have tried both the possibilities of not including that question or including that question, that means not solving that question and solving that question. If I get x comma y as the profit, x is the profit by not doing that question, y is the point by including that question, then I have taken the max of both of them, and let's say it came out to be x. Then again, if the same choice has to be made for the same question, then I can just simply return x without having to solve it. So I know that since there are questions.length number of questions, therefore I will make such array called a memoization table in this case, right? You can also name it as a DP table. And what will be the size of the DTP table or the memoization table? It will be the number of questions. So I have taken from 0 to 4. Now you already know that the profit cannot be negative because the points are minimum 1. So if you add the points, either you are adding 0 or 1 or some higher value, right? So the points cannot be negative. So I will fill the memoization table with all negative values, which will indicate that actually these values have not been calculated yet. Okay. So if these values happen to be positive, then this is calculated. Okay. So I have just picked number -1. You can pick any number which is out of bounds, right? Now, since you have already calculated for 4 the max profit of 2, so I will be updating it when I was at 4. When I was at 3, I will be updating this to 3. When I was at 2, then I will be updating this to 4 because the max profit calculated was 4. So when the call was made to this 3, then I can just use the lookup table and say that, okay, this is a non-negative value, then this has already been calculated and let's return it back as 3. So the max of 4, 5 will be 5, and so 1 is also calculated for 0.5, right? Now for this 0, it got 5 by not including this 0, that means not solving the question number 0. Now let's try to solve question number 0. If we try to solve it, 3 points will be added for it, and we will be going to 0 plus 2 plus 1, which is index 3. So if you go to index 3, you check that the max profit made is 3. So this has already been calculated. So return 3, it is a repeating sub problem, and take the max of 5, 6, which will be 6. So update this to 6 and return it as an answer, right? So if you follow this approach, then you will clearly understand the recursion tree diagram, how to solve it by recursion, as well as what are the sub problems here. So the sub problem is just the position, which is the question number, right? That is the only sub problem. And if the same position has been hit, then you can just return the maximum points that you have made. So I think the recursion tree diagram is clear and the memoization table is also clear. So since you have n number of questions, unique questions, so you cannot have more than n number of solvable nodes in the recursion tree diagram, right? Therefore, the time complexity of your DFS or the recursion by applying a dynamic programming, which is the memoization, will be order of n. It will not be greater than that, right? And the space complexity will be order of n due to your memoization table, and for your recursion call stack, you can assume it to be order of n as well, which will boil down to order of n, right? So the time complexity is order of n, space complexity is order of n. Let's now look at the code.
If you are someone who is looking to prepare for top product based company within a limited time of just 3 months, then we have brought for you both the DSA and the system design live interview training program. The most important feature of this program is you get a filtered and condensed structured curriculum, in-depth discussion of all the topics, and my guarantee of your understanding, one-on-one guidance with me, and live weekend classes. To know more about the training, you can WhatsApp us on this given number.
In this problem, we are given the questions. So I have taken the number of questions and made the memoization table defining all negative values as -1. And I will try to find the maximum points and return the result. So I'll be passing the questions, the current position, that means the current question I'm looking at, and the memoization table. So after this, if I look at the position, if it is out of bound, I will be returning 0. Otherwise, if the sub problem has already been solved, that means the value is not negative, then I will be returning the value which has already been stored. Otherwise, I will try not to solve the current question, that means exclude the current question, and after coming back, try to do the current question, that means include the current question by adding the current point and going to position plus whatever is the brain power plus 1, right? And whatever is the result, take the max of exclude, include, and store it into the memoization table for that particular sub problem, and then return the value, right? So this is your dynamic programming simple approach, and I hope this is clear. I will appreciate if you can comment below your approach of solving the problem and if you applied the same technique as I did. That's all for this problem. Like and share our video and subscribe to our channel in order to watch more of this programming videos. See you guys in the next video. Thank you.